Alright, hi there Internet. So today I wanted to talk about Shokugeki No Soma. So chapter 167 just came out yesterday. I'm a little late talking about it. Actually I don't really want to talk about the chapter. Some interesting stuff happened, and so we found out that they're going to start the advancement exams, and according to Central, it's basically impossible for anyone who doesn't follow Central's methods. We don't know that that's necessarily, or we know that obviously Soma's not going to get kicked out. He's going to figure out some way to do it. I don't really know what exactly the exams are going to be. They're probably going to have to cook using certain methods and present their dishes. And the guys in Polar Star and all the other main characters are probably going to be fine. And I don't really know what the exam is actually going to be, so I don't want to speculate. And other than that, not a lot happened in the chapter. So I wanted to talk about some stuff from earlier chapters, since I haven't done that. And more so, I want to talk about Hayama. So we know Hayama's skills are, before the stagiary stage, they were above Soma's, and so we can assume that they're at least on par with Soma's right now. But we haven't seen him cook at all during the Survivor Purge. So it's weird because he's in that not research society, I'm forgetting the word, but with that professor who he very highly admires and would do anything for, and is cooking to prove that her skills are right. So my question is, why wasn't he part of the purge? We haven't seen anything about him. It's likely that the professor was actually kicked off campus because she won't follow Central's teaching styles. But it's also possible that Hayama has joined Central, that maybe the professor and him are working with Central. We haven't seen him at all. It seems like that's probably not what happened, because that's not what he's more like Soma and the other first years. He wouldn't want to join Central. But it's possible, since we haven't seen him, that that's what would happen, because I don't see him taking that lying down. He would have been in the purge and he would have won just like the other first years did. The fact that we haven't seen him says that maybe he has joined Central, but we probably would have seen him on the other side cooking for Central in the purge. So I think it'll be interesting in the next few chapters to see when he shows up. And then the other thing is, we haven't seen either of the Aldini brothers cook yet after the stagiary stage, really, or since the purge started. That is, we haven't seen them in the Shokugeki against Central or against any of the other main characters, so we don't know where their skills are at, and I'm looking forward to seeing that in the advancement stage. And then also seeing the interaction between Central and Soma is going to be really interesting, since Tsukasa, that's his name, right? The first seat. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Even acknowledged Soma's skills to the point of even saying, like, you're basically too good for me to keep under wraps, because your cooking style is always going to show up in anything you cook. And we know that was what was missing during the fall elections. Soma didn't have his own style of cooking. So it was really interesting to see them say, yeah, you can't be my sous chef because your cooking style is too unique and would show up in everything. So those things are going to be interesting to see during the advancement exams. And I'm also curious to see the rest of the Polar Star dorm people, the ones that haven't been part of the purge or anything. Like, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on all of their names, but the two guys that are always fighting, and Iwasaki, is that his name? I'm terrible with names right now. Sorry. The guy that smokes all the food. We also haven't seen Ishiki cook yet, and I think at some point he's going to have to face off against Central, so that'll be really interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all those things, and hopefully next week's chapter will give us more details on what exactly the advancement exam is, and I can talk more about that and more about how I think that you could get around it, since we know it's going to be difficult for them since they don't follow Central's cooking style. And then what's also interesting was at the end we saw Azumi presenting the dishes cooked by students that he said were average, and they were all at least 10th seat level. So it'll be interesting to see if he has to see them compared to the main characters and see just how good they actually are, and if they could possibly win Shokugekis against maybe some of the lower main characters. So all that will be really interesting to see coming up next week with the next chapter. We'll talk more about the advancement exams, hopefully, because hopefully there'll be more information and I'll be able to speculate more on it. Until then, stay classy, Internet.